How many times do we constantly look for people to text us back? Constantly look for jobs to constantly hit us back instead of us learning how to let go. Now that's the different difference between like putting in that work and really growing with something, right? But we talking about those things that are clearly no longer serving us. And just like that, we are back with another episode of And Another Thing with your host, Devon Clark, brought to you by Inspiration Above. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday to you all. I had an amazing day today. When I'm, again, growing, not going, but growing through my days, I'm constantly attempting to figure out what exactly am I doing that is bringing me joy, right? Because again, we all go grow through hoops and the trials and tribulations and whatnot. And today I had an awesome day, like awesome. I'm talking about from top to bottom, and I was attempting to figure out exactly what was it that allowed me to have such an awesome day, and I found it, guys. I figured it out. So anybody ever had a moment where they wanted to shut down, or where they felt like they was overwhelmed, or where they just dropped their head and it's like, okay, cool, like how am I gonna figure out this? And you're trying to figure out how you're gonna figure it out, right? And you give yourself time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever the case may be. For me, I think what really helped was when I wanted to have that moment, I picked myself right back up. Like I didn't even allow myself to go down that domino effect of, processing why I'm the issue or why I'm the problem or whatever the case may be. Like I just didn't allow myself to, spiral in that way of thoughts and whatnot. So I definitely want to challenge everybody as well too on a day-to-day tomorrow, right? When you are growing through whatever you grow through, definitely attempt to go ahead and pick yourself back up when you wanna fall down. Sound like a plan? Okay, cool. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy Tuesday. This episode, it's a good one. Y'all, look, I jumped back into dropping my daily inspiration and motivational videos on TikTok, and it was doing good. Like, they support me right away. I'm like, all right, okay, TikTok. So TikTok showing the love. Yeah. I feel good, though, and I think that I know today's episode can be very beneficial to anybody who is in a situation where they're attempting to figure out, should they go left, should they go right, like what should they be doing, right? And this podcast, as always, right, is for people who are attempting to figure out how to grow, right? You're attempting to figure out who you should go to, who you should run to, where you should run to grow. This is for anybody who just may have just been released from prison, or maybe you in there and you want to find some daily motivation or growth to figure out how to make it through the day. This is for individuals who are going to college now, maybe you're venturing off into a new journey, maybe you just became CSO or CEO of a new company. This is the Growth Podcast. This is where we come. This is where we do not judge, but we open, right? And we be honest, and we figure out true strategies, right, that work for us, true strategies to ourselves, right? Not necessarily true strategies that work for everyone, right? Because growth could be subjective, but strategies that we can use to grow on a daily basis in our personal life. You all ready? Let's get to it. And another thing, chat, you have to walk away. That's right. You have to release. You have to let go. You have to. It is causing you so much damage, so much pain, so much trauma, so much confusion, so many repetitive things that you are constantly doing, right? And from that repetition, you find yourself run a rat race. You're finding yourself on like a guinea pig on a hamster, like a hamster on a hamster wheel, right? You are in the same place that you've been in for the past several months, several years, whatever, days, weeks, because you have not learn to walk away, right? And again, all this growth is subjective, right? And you can plug in these pieces of information, these strategies, in different scenarios based upon what season you are in your life, right? But I'm talking to those people right now who, okay, you the great friend, like you the friend, you the family member, you are that individual, that person who is constantly overextending, overcompensating. You're letting yourself run on E, and then when it's time for reciprocation, nobody wants to reciprocate. And it just might be because you have not learned to walk away. I know, I get it. It's difficult. It can be challenging to walk away if we never, been taught to walk away. Like, again, me, I come from a family that gives. So when I got out in the real world, it was kind of interesting. Like, oh, they not gonna do good because it's just the right thing to do, right? Like that's not how the world works. it was very shocking to me, coming across different people in this world. And I'm not saying that me or my family is the greatest givers in the world. You know what I'm saying? But typically families, birds of a feather flock together, right? And what I've noticed from me, right, and what I was doing, and what I, was accustomed to. Oh no, I got you. Oh no, don't worry. As a child and as a teenager, once you get into that real world, right? Or even if you are an adult right now in your 30s or in your 40s or in your 50s, and you're attempting to figure out like, how do I walk away? You have to just do it, right? Like and this is the thing. Like, let's not sit up here and act like that walking away sometimes doesn't hurt. Oh no, it hurt. It does. Oh, especially when you were down for the relationship, when you did, think that you would get married to this man, when you did think you would get married to this woman, when you thought you all would live happily ever after, when you were at that job and you thought that this job was going to be somewhere where you lasted for the remainder of your career. Like you came up with this whole retirement plan and this whole, way to exit, and boom, you got let go. Right? They laid you off, and a speed bump, right? So it's like, how do I learn to walk away from that situation? Like that thing is constantly being on your mind, and you just constantly allowing yourself to spiral out, and your character is not the same. The way that you look at yourself is not the same. People are noticing different things about you. You don't feel motivated anymore. You are just in a place right now where it's like, God, how did I get here? And you have to learn to walk away. Like I told you all, I've been taking this spiritual journey, right? Like deep in this spiritual journey, what I would consider deep. And again, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still on my journey. And I've been getting in that Bible a lot more as well too. And in the Bible, they talk about, I want to say Genesis 13, right? And I'm gonna give you some background before we read the scripture, right? Before I tell you about the scripture. So the background of it is a gentleman by the name of Lot and a gentleman by the name of Abram, right? And these two individuals are related. And before we even get to these two, let's talk about before the gentleman Lot, him, his wife, his two daughters, they were told to leave from their city and to don't look back. Now Lot's wife looked back. And when she looked back, she turned into a pillar of salt, right? Now, I have to figure out what the Bible scripture that one is for that particular story. But just to kind of relate it to the conversation of you have to learn how to walk away. She looked back at that city and she turned into a pillar of salt. I believe this city God was destroying the city or something along those lines. Again, please don't hold me to it. I'm still learning as well too. But it just made a lot of sense to me because it's like, how many times do we constantly look for people to text us back? Constantly look for jobs to constantly hit us back instead of us learning how to let go. Now, that's the difference between like putting in that work and really growing with something, right? But we're talking about those things that are clearly no longer serving us. We're talking about those things that we are allowing to disrespect us. We're talking about those things that we are allowing to drain us, that's keeping us away from our purpose, that's keeping us away from being great people, from great men, from great women, right? Those things are what you learn to walk away. And again, as always, I'm talking to myself as well too with this first part. I've done that a lot, like just constantly look back, constantly waited, constantly thinking that like, okay, this is gonna be how it, and I just wait, and I kind of with my arms. It's a way you do it though. Like when you sit and wait with your arms folded, type of mentality, waiting on for the world to come kiss you at your feet. Man, you're gonna be waiting a lifetime. I'm gonna say it again. If you fold your arms because you've been such a great person and wait for the world to come kiss the ground that you walk on, you will be waiting for a lifetime. I had to quickly realize that just because I'm a good person doesn't mean great things will happen back to me. I still have to work. I still have to push forward. I still have to continue to be a great man, continue to aspire to be a great leader, no matter who does me wrong, no matter who said this about me. And it took me a long time to realize that I was very, you know, much so, I wouldn't say in my feelings, but more so just distraught at like the things that have happened, and I had to learn how to let those things go. There's another scripture, man. I'm again. This is my life that I'm talking about right now, as far as like the Bible. I love that Bible, and I know it's a lot of other people out there that love that Bible as well too. I love that Bible. There's another scripture as well too. I want to say it's in Corinthians, and it goes along, and don't quote me on it, but it goes along the lines of, when I was a boy, I thought like a boy. I reasoned like a boy, and it was something else. And then the next part of that scripture was, but when I became a man, I spoke like a man. I reasoned like, you know what I'm saying? And that helped me as well too, because, you know, Devon, a boy or a little or a girl, right? You know, they're gonna have their arms folded mentality and pout and throw fits and wait for an adult to come make sure that they're okay. But when you become a man, when you become a woman, when you take dignity in the things that you do, when you take ownership and accountability in your decision-making skills and the way that you speaking, it's a whole different type of game plan. It's a whole different type of the respect level that you have for yourself. The way that you start to become at ease, in my opinion, the way that you start to realize and analyze a lot more things, it becomes a lot more clear. Right. So now that you are an adult, you have to be an adult. Now that you are a man, you have to be a man. You have to learn, hey, listen, I cannot be in this season, for I have to learn to let go. I have to learn to grow. I have to. Right. And which brings me to the next scripture. Again, learning how to let go. And in the let go, you're going to have some people who walk away from you. You're going to walk away from some people. You're going to separate, right? So in Genesis 13, I want to say it's verse 8. You know, again, gentleman by the name of Lot, gentleman by the name of Abram, they're relatives. Lot is Abram's nephew, right? Now, these guys both had herders. These guys both had people following them, all that fun stuff, right? And it became so much that Abram had to make the decision to say, you know what? Hey, nephew, we cannot get, we have to separate from each other. Right? We have to separate from each other. Whether if you go left or I go left or you go right or I go right, we just have to move apart, because there was a lot of quarreling between their people, right? There was a lot of quarreling going on between their people, a lot of discomfort. And again, that scripture spoke to me about learning how to walk away. And those two guys both had great things going on based on that scripture. And it just talked to me so much. It spoke to me about, hey, learning how to let go, learning how to walk away. Hey, listen, I know you really love that thing that you have. I know you found out a way to protect yourself all these, you know, the first 20 years of your life. I know you learn the way how to take I know you learned the way, but is that being efficient? And not just something that you just sweeping under the rug and getting by. Like, are you being efficient? Is that the thing that should be in your life? You know, maybe one day it might come back. Who knows? But right now, you know, there are some things you need to walk away from. There are some addictions that you need to walk away from. There are some friendships you need to walk away from. There are some family members who may be in your life right now who's causing you to not be the stand-up man or the stand-up woman that you are aspiring to be. So you might have to put some things or some people on hold and separate. Whether if you go left or if they go left or if you go right or if they go right, doesn't matter. It just has to happen. There are some things right now that you're holding on to that's been habits. Maybe you're struggling with an addiction. Maybe you're struggling with alcohol. Maybe you're struggling with just whatever. Right. And again, as always, I'm talking to myself as well, too. There were a lot of things that I just could not put down. There were a lot of things that I didn't know how to be there for myself. I did not know how, but I prayed on it. And I prayed on it, talked to God about it, right? And made some decisions. And I had to first figure out, and I want you guys to do the same thing. When you truly figure out what is it that you want out of life? There are a lot of us out there that do not know what do we want. There's a lot of us out there that would like things. I would like, but what do you want? Is it a big family? Do you want to be financially free? What is it that you want when it comes to your relationships? Are you just casually dating? When you casually date, you're going to casually waste time. There's nothing wrong with meeting people. There's nothing wrong with enjoying people's companies. I get it. Not every person that you meet is going to be your forever man or your forever woman, right? But when you find that thing, when you find that person, you got to learn how to be a lot more intentional and let go of those old ways. Let them go. I know it's a big, scary world out there if you allow it to be scary, right? But you should fear nothing if you have God with you. I've been learning that a lot, guys. So figure out exactly what it is that you want out of life. Take your time, take your deep breaths, and go out there and get it. Learn to walk away from those things. Analyze those things that you need to walk away from. And ask yourself, what is it that you want out of life? And when you figure out that, go after it. Because you've got this.